If y'all think we've done a lot here, just wait till you see when we have our own place.
Yeah.
It's going to be full on craziness.
Yeah.
Is going to be happening.
We're excited.
Hi, we're Derek and Jenna. We started our homesteading journey in 2011 with 5 small children, a garden, and a few chicks. Since then, we've added 3 more kids and a whole lot of animals. We're currently renting 37 acres in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where we raise grass-fed beef, grass-fed dairy, pastured poultry and pork, free-range eggs, and a large garden. We also have a couple pet goats, several barn cats, and a beagle. We're working on moving from growing just our own food to selling locally. We homeschool our children and are a full-time family with hopes and goals of farming for a living. We would love to welcome y'all to follow our family on our journey.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. Howdy.
All right. Let's be real.
Okay.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
We just wanted to give y'all a little update on our life, everything that's been going on. So, the house hunt is getting ready to hit full speed ahead. We have talked to a realtor. We have talked to a lender. We're getting more of a budget nailed down. So things are getting ready to go full on house hunt for East Tennessee. And not just house, but house, farm, property, you know, the whole deal. We've got nearly 30 cows. We've got pigs. We've got chickens. We're going to have turkeys.
We got goats.
And goats. And a lot more chickens coming. So, oh yeah, that being said, I guess
and a horse. We had the horse too.
And the horse,
and cats and a beagle.
We have a lot. So
and 8 children.
Ideally, we're really looking for a minimum of 30 acres in East Tennessee. From our drive the other day, y'all probably saw that video. Pretty much anywhere from, seems like we're open to anywhere in the mountains of Tennessee. I mean, and it's mostly East Tennessee. It seems to be where the most mountainous areas are. And
we have a lot of connections as far as friends, some of you that watch us, some other homesteading friends that are in that area. So we already feel like we have somewhat of a community there.
Yeah.
So that's great. But we just are gearing up to starting basically in April, you know, maybe probably next week. Hopefully the search can really commence.
Yes.
Right now the market's hot. Everything is selling in 24 to 48 hours. What we're looking for was twice as much as it would have been 2 or 3 years ago.
Pretty much.
Unfortunately, but we know God has a plan. That's what we've been talking about, is how everything is just working out. It's falling into place, and we don't know how it's all going to work out, because on paper it doesn't work out, and in our heads it doesn't work out, but God doesn't live by our parameters.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a pipe dream, but it is coming, I mean, to fruition. It really is. Fruition
Farm is going to come to fruition.
Absolutely.
Very quickly.
Yes.
I've said over and over, you know, I really hope we can move in time to plant a garden, you know, and all that, and we might be a little late getting the garden in, depending on when we find a place and closing and all that kind of stuff, but it's going to happen. We'll have plenty of time for beans and tomatoes and peppers and
absolutely.
So we're just, everything we're doing in faith. That's what we were saying. You know, we planted our seeds and we planted them in faith that we'll have somewhere to plant our plants out. And I was going somewhere else with that. Oh, we ordered chickens. Yeah, that's what it was. We ordered meat birds.
Broilers.
110 broilers. We have our brooder. And we have our chicken tractor. So, I mean, we were like, worst case scenario, we're still here. We just, you know, raise them here and then sell them. But we have them and they're ready to go. Well, we don't have them. We've ordered them.
Yeah.
And
they're
we'll have
ship
them
next month, right?
The 19th, I think, is when they're going to ship. So we'll have them close to, you know, the 3rd week of April. Or in the 3rd week of April. So we'll know a little more by then. Hopefully we'll be in the process of waiting to close at that point. Hopefully, we don't know. We're just speculating, but that would be awesome. And dreaming. So once we kind of have nailed down, we'll have those chickens. We'll know when we can get another batch, because we're going to do multiple batches of chickens to sell.
Our plan is this year to do at least 2 batches of 100 chickens a month.
Yeah.
Through the summer. So we're hoping to do every 2 weeks order 200 chickens, and we're going to do that
at a time.
I mean, I'm sorry, every 2 weeks order 100 chickens.
Yeah,
you're right.
We can do up to 1,000 to sell with the regulations that are on the 1,000 chicken exemption.
Yeah.
So we would love to hit that 1,000 mark. It would be a lot of work, but the income would be good for us.
If we're going to make a living farming, that's what we're going to do. I mean, we've got to go for it, and we're
and it's 1,000 birds, so it'd be however many chickens and then some turkeys. We're going to get turkeys.
Yes,
so.
We've talked about turkeys. We're going to order turkeys. Probably order them soon, but not have them shipped until a month or so out from now. But we're going to order those.
Once we know an address to ship them to, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been talking about, we're going to order broad-breasted white turkeys, but we're also going to get some heritage breed turkeys because we want to be as sustainable as possible. Yeah. We probably won't have many heritage breed turkeys to offer this year, but if any. Next year, we should be able to offer broad-breasted white turkeys as well as a heritage breed turkey. Because and we've kind of been settled on the Narragansett breed.
We're looking at the Narragansett, but they say they mature faster, and they have more meat than other.
Right. Because
when you get into heritage breeds, you're not going to have as much meat as a broad-breasted, obviously. So, but if you guys have any opinions on that, or you've raised them or whatever, just feel free to leave it comment and let us know. Give us your advice on that.
Private message here on Facebook. Something. Yeah.
So we're going to raise them and want to have Tom and 2 hens ideally is kind of what we're thinking at this point, so then we can incubate some of the eggs, maybe let them hatch some of the eggs next year and see how that goes. But
it's exciting. I mean, we're well on our way to actually farming for a living. I mean, it's crazy because it's been what, a month, maybe 5 weeks.
It's been 5 weeks.
It's been 5 weeks since we made the statement, we're going to farm for a living. This year,
or 6 weeks instead.
Maybe 6 weeks, So this year, I said this year, I'm going to farm for a living. I'm going to view all other work as side work and view the farm as my main job. Since I made that statement, so much stuff has happened and changed. We had no idea.
Our life flipped upside down.
It did, and we had no idea it was going to happen this way.
But that's like when we were in Florida before the hurricane, we were like, okay, we felt that release and we're like, we're going to start making plans to try to save money to move back to the mountains. And like we said, when we were in Florida, we were talking about moving to Tennessee, staying in the mountains, but moving to Tennessee. And we were like, all right. And it's like we made that decision and boom, the hurricane hit and we were back in the mountains in no time. And that was not how we had planned it. No. But it just was a catalytic event that kind of forced the hand to start moving, and that's the same thing that's happened here with the house having mold and Jacob, scary event, and us realizing being out of there how sick it was making us.
Right.
I mean, I can't believe how much better I feel. I'm not 100%, but
she's been moving feed bags.
I can actually do things.
It's crazy how much better she's been and able to do things. What are you doing, Hopi?
Don't throw chunks of concrete.
Let's not do that. Yeah.
Silly. Here, put it back over there.
Put it over here. Because we've got to get all this stuff cleaned up.
Yeah, we got a lot to do.
Which leads us to the next thing. The property we're on here is going to be shown next week. So that's exciting.
That's exciting. We're excited for our landlord.
It kind of gives us a little more pressure, and we're hoping that these people will love it, that they'll make a reasonable offer, and
she'll have a sale.
And
that would be amazing for her.
That would be just a huge blessing to her.
She's not going to kick us off the property by any means, but we don't want
to hold her up.
We don't want to hold her up. We don't want us trying to find something to hold her for or lose a sale, for her. So that's the balance. But it's not like we can just move somewhere in the interim and be temporary because we have 30 cows. And, you can't just go put, I can't rent a house in a neighborhood for 6 months while I'm trying, not that I would want to do that at all, but it's like, we're not in a situation where we can go rent a house and just, wait out finding somewhere to buy, because we have 30 cows and
right.
or 29
and horse and chickens
and bunnies and
goats.
I hope he did not be happy.
You go play, okay?
Silly.
Thank you, baby. So that's very exciting news.
So we got to get this place more presentable.
Yeah.
Clean everything up and just make sure that it's ready to show.
Yeah, and which in doing so, that gets us to get all of our stuff all together, gathered up, packed up, ready to load into the trailers.
Is by next weekend to have everything ready so that it'll be ready to show, but also it'll be in shape where when we're ready to move and go, everything can just be loaded and go. We're not going to have all this crazy packing up and trying to get things organized at that point, because that's not fun. We've done
and
that
on
before.
top of that, I've got to build 2 custom cabinets and bookcases to go for a customer. Wow. Yeah. So no pressure.
No pressure. We
we'll get it done.
Days.
It'll work.
No, we don't have an official 6 days, but sometime next week. So,
yeah. The other really cool and exciting thing is Gallagher is really getting amped up on their, promoting their sales and their fencing products.
They're gearing towards the homesteader, because they've been
which
more
is awesome.
geared at like conventional farms with a lot more land and stuff, and they're really interested in the homesteader and connecting with you guys, real people. Not that conventional farmers aren't real people, but people like us, that are doing this on a much smaller scale. We're not raising 1,000 cows and all these thousands.
They're developing a quality product for people who want to do what we do. Yeah. Products that are so much better that work, and they're sending us some stuff to try, to basically review and show you all. And
we always will have a 10% off coupon code, flip-flop barnyard, one word, and it's in the description with our link. You will always get 10% off when you use that code on your product. So we're excited to show you things that we're using that they're putting out, or they already have, that maybe you'd be interested, you didn't know they had.
And they told us, they said, look, if the products don't work, let us know. We'll fix it, but be honest with your viewers. If it doesn't work, let us know.
Your application,
or for work for your application, or if there's things we can improve on, let us know. But tell your viewer, look, I like this about it. I didn't like this. They're working on this, and they really want feedback from people who are using their product, so they can, if there's any improvements they can make, they'll make the improvements, which to me says they really have a heart to create a quality product for people that's going to last. They don't want people to waste their money. So I'm ecstatic to be working with a company that is doing that. We've got should we tell them what we're getting? No? Okay. Well, I was talking about that. There's one thing we're getting we can't talk about. Okay.
We'll just show them when we come.
We'll show you. Okay. Surprises. So anyway, we've got that going on. So there's a lot of very exciting things happening, going on right now in our life.
It's almost, if you stop and look at all of it, it's overwhelming. So I have to look at one piece and one day at a time, because I look at the big picture, thinking about the logistics of moving everything to a new farm that's probably going to be several hours away. It's overwhelming, but
I'm excited. I do well in situations like with planning, loading things and planning, and that's
But I told Derek, I said,
this is what stressed about that.
What I'm going to focus on is when we move, I need myself and the small children and the milk cow and the baby goats, or all the goats at one time. That has to go in household goods that we need, to live. As long as we can get all that in one load, and that's all stationary in one load once we get there, they can worry about the rest. I'll help, but I'm not. As long as we get that.
Somebody has to stay there, which would be you, obviously.
And you're not going to be doing overnight trips. No. It's going to be close enough that's going to be a one-day trip back and forth. But I can stay there with the little ones and the animals, and you and the bigger kids can come back and forth and get the other animals. But the animals that have to be milked every day, or need to be fed bottles, or just keep an eye on, the goats, they're more susceptible to predators or whatever. So at least with those. Speaking of, we tried Buster in with the goats and it didn't work out. He got to where he was chasing the babies and it was just stressing them. Then we tried to put him with Coco, and him and Coco don't get along.
No, they don't.
She headbutts him, he growls at her, and I don't want to stress her, since she's getting better from her iron deficiency and her wormload and copper deficiency. I just don't want to risk her.
You would think one of them would just back down, but they're both hard-headed.
Well, no. So anyway, he's back in his kennel. Oh well, we tried. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we have going on. We're just gonna.
We got a new calf, which y'all seen.
Yep. We got a new calf. So unless number 3 is bred and due later on, that would be the last one we know.
That's what we want to talk about. When we first got the Tarentaise cows.
Oh yeah.
The first one that died.
Just a week after we got them.
Yes, just completely
Which, at this point, we really believe that was the Clostridium novi. Yes. Now that we understand that was in the soil, because it was the same scenario. She was fine eating and then just dead. Looked exactly like the others that we know had Clostridium novi. So,
basically, so basically, she died. We found her dead.
Down over that way.
Right over my shoulder, pretty much. Like straight down this way, right by the creek.
There's like a little jutted out peninsula-ish thing.
Yeah. Well, so yesterday, in theory, this will be the last, this little calf, Jake, that Jacob named, Jake, should be the last calf born on this farm for us. Jenna said yesterday, wouldn't it be crazy if the last calf born on this farm was born in the same spot that the first cow died? And I was like,
coming full circle.
I was like, wow, that would be crazy. Y'all, I mean, sure enough, I could go right down there and show you the placenta where, I mean, her placenta is laying down there where she delivered her afterbirth. Right there.
Exact spot.
Within 20 yards of where the first cow died.
Yeah.
Crazy. I believe that is very symbolic. I mean, that's
and
like...
then, y'all, I didn't come out last night, but they were out there, and then they, when they're doing all this and finding the calf, there was a shooting star.
No, it wasn't just a shooting star, y'all. I've seen a lot of shooting stars because I used to coon hunt, and I've been outside a lot at night and just,
stargazing.
You know, well, I'm not a stargazer, but I do, I mean, just outside a lot at night due to what I do. Like, I've pushed snow, midnight shift for
years.
Most of my life. Well, at least half my life, all my adult life, until the past 2 years, or 3-4 years, actually.
Yeah, you were in Florida, you weren't pushing snow.
No, but I did when I came back from Florida.
Yeah, you did.
For one winter. But there was a shooting star. Let's see, it was, okay, let's see. It was like, it started right here. It was me, Josiah, Kylie,
Jeremiah.
And Jeremiah. No, Jeremiah wasn't there.
He
was he?
He was telling me all about it. Yeah.
Okay, Jeremiah. And then Jack barely saw it right before it went completely out of sight. Okay, so it came, it was huge, and it was like the colors of the rainbow. It was red and blue and green, like this big, long, I don't know what the tail of a shooting star or like comet, whatever is called. I don't know what that's called, the tail of it maybe. So it just comes blowing through the sky. And the kids, it was so big and so close, the kids were convinced it landed in the driveway right here for the neighbors up on top of the ridge. And I was like, no, it was, you know, probably thousands of miles away. You know, maybe not, but I'm assuming. But
we're not.
Yeah, but it went over completely out of sight, just over the ridge here. But I have never seen...
He's not a star expert, but you know.
I'm not at all. But it was the most beautiful shooting star or comet I've ever seen. And it was right after the calf was born. We were down here trying to get the calf caught to bring him up here and get him tagged and get his vaccination. And mommy cow was all excited, not wanting us to get near her. So we had to use the tractor to block and, you know, to make this work out. And what do you have? You have some pizza there,
Come
Hope?
here, let me see. We have homemade pizza tonight. That looks delicious.
Yum.
Okay, take it to the camper or over to the table. The picnic table. Go sit at the picnic table.
So,
the green table.
Yeah, you can go eat at the table outside. So anyway, sorry for the interruptions, but wow, it was the most beautiful shooting star or comet, whatever it was, that I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen one that had color. It looked like a shooting rainbow almost.
That's so cool.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was really cool.
But yeah, that was neat. I mean, I don't want to get all into being like, ooh, this is symbolic, but it felt very significant.
It did. It was significant, you know.
Not in a very woo-woo way, just in a very like, wow, that's, you know, God has a lot of
God has a plan, and He's
continually showing us you're on the right path. This is where we're going. So
everything we've done in faith, because we haven't provided any of this. I mean, it's just all been God, and He's put people in our lives that have helped us and blessed us, and hopefully we've been a blessing to them, but in return. But it's just been, this is quite a journey, y'all. It's exciting.
It's been a journey.
It has been a journey. Crazy, but anyway, I think that's pretty much it.
Yep. Just,
for right now.
We just
Shh, listen, we're videoing. You sit right here for a minute.
Eat your pizza. Don't choke. Should change pants.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just appreciate your prayers and all of your support, of course, as we're navigating and trying to find our hopefully forever farm. That's what we're really, our desire is to just finally put down roots and stay and not you know, move in. And I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but we have been pursuing a forever farm for 10 years now.
Yeah.
This is something we spent multiple years when we were in Virginia before looking at farm after farm, and it just was, I mean, dozens, and it was always one thing or another. For whatever reason, it just never worked out. Then we moved to Florida and we rented there, and we only ended up on 2 acres there, which we did a lot there, but that was disappointing in the sense that we really were hoping to be able to move there and have a lot of land, and you know, and then moving back, we're on 37 acres, which is great, but we've been through a lot of struggles on this farm, as you guys know if you've followed us. If not, you can go back and kind of catch up and see what all we've been through. We've lost
our farm burned down. We've lost a lot of cows.
Our farm in Florida did burn down.
Yes,
that was crazy. I mean, not the house, but so the neighbor did
all the pasture pretty much.
It was crazy. But
who does that happen to? Like,
our neighbor caught our farm on fire, and like, it was crazy. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But we've been through all of this, and then we moved back here, and we're, you know, we moved to 37 acres, which was great, but it was the 800 or whatever square foot. It's not very big square foot, single wide trailer with 10 people, which has been really tight. We've made it work, but it's been like, hey, we need a house, and then boom, Jacob has this scary neurological seizure episode. Find out, oh, it's the mold, and we have to move out. Now we're living in a camper, which after the hurricane we lived in a camper, so this is our second time. Silly. So we've been through a lot and in pursuit of our forever homestead for a decade. And it's like, wow, when I look at it that way, and I'm like, Jack was 8 years old when we started trying to do this, and he's gonna be 18 years old, you know. It's like
in May.
May, he's gonna be 18 in May. It's crazy. So anyways, we've been on a really long journey, and we are just beyond ready and beyond excited to finally be able to like breathe and say, this is it. This is where we get to thrive.
We can actually, like, I mean, we were talking, Jen and I were sitting here talking a little bit ago and saying, you know, we can start our Back to Eden garden, which takes about 2.5 or 3 years to really get going well and get established. And we're like, this is gonna work. You know, when we can
put in an orchard. We were like, that's one of the first things I want to do is put in fruit trees, because it's going to take a while for you to start actually getting a decent amount of fruit on fruit trees, but you have to start somewhere. So we were like, that's something, if the land, hopefully we'll already have a few fruit trees, that'd be amazing. But you know, but yeah, we want to put in fruit trees, so we have that going already, and just dreaming about the reality that's coming. You know, we have our beehives we can take, and we'll be able to split hives and catch swarms, and so we'll have our garden and our orchard, and they can pollinate. I mean, it's just like the dream. And so we can finally, everywhere we've been has been temporary, so we've lived in the mentality of doing what we can where we are, but not being super permanent with anything we do. And now, wow, it'd be nice to be able to like do things and think in a permanent mentality, and not coming from that mentality of,
if y'all think we've done a lot here, just wait till you see when we have our own place. It's gonna be full on craziness is going to be happening.
We're excited. So anyway, all that to say, thank you, and we appreciate your support and prayers.
Yes.
And you know, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, you might want to go ahead and subscribe, because we obviously have a crazy journey that's ongoing, so you might want to follow along. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified every time we upload a video. And if you hit the likes button, the thumbs up, YouTube will know that you are enjoying these videos. And please comment below and let us know your thoughts or any suggestions on, like I said, turkey breeds, or if you know of any properties for sale. These kids are eating pizza like
I want to be eating pizza.
We're gonna go eat pizza. Any properties for sale in the whole East Tennessee region that would meet the criteria of at least 30 acres and a house that fits 10 people. And we can live in a smaller space than people think. I mean, I'd love to have a big, huge house, but I don't want, 1,000 square feet or anything. But we need at least 3 bedrooms, preferably more. With other options like a basement for more, Anyway, that's a lot of information, but
we got to end this.
All right, we appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you next time.
Yes. Bye-bye.